Stimulus check update round 2, and we've got an urgent May 5th deadline. So you have until May 5th to file your paperwork in order to get the stimulus. Plus, Democrats don't want Trump's name on the next round of checks, but he's sending a letter anyway. We'll explain. And what will round 2 of this stimulus look like? We have details. It's time for your stimulus check update round 2. Well, we've been doing these videos every day now for about 3 weeks, and you found them really helpful. So thanks for all of your kind feedback. We put a lot of hard work into helping you get answers. So thank you for giving us a big like, giving us the thumbs up. Can you do that for us? We really appreciate it. And if you are new here, welcome. This channel is devoted to helping you make money and build financial intelligence. You'll learn things on this channel, I hope, that will set you apart from everyone else, and you're going to learn things that you were never taught in high school. I promise you that. So please subscribe and please drop me a comment to let me know you are new here, because I respond to every comment that I can. Okay, this May 5th deadline is quickly approaching for you to get your stimulus money. These are the people that need to pay attention to this right now. So pay attention if you are one of these people. People who receive benefits through either the Department of Veterans Affairs or the Supplemental Security Income, that's SSI, and who have children. If you have children, you have a deadline that you've got to get your stimulus money. So if you're one of those people and you have children, you have a deadline if you want to get all of the stimulus money that is due to you. This is because the government doesn't know that you have kids. So you have to file in order to get that additional child benefit money. The government said on Friday that those beneficiaries who have children and who do not typically file tax returns need to update their information by May 5th in order to be eligible, so they can have their eligible dependents counted in their stimulus payments. They simply don't know if you have children. That goes particularly if you have not filed tax returns for 2018 or 2019. If you have children under the age of 17, again, they do not know about it. You've got to file this. The government has set up a website for non-filers where you can enter your information. It's right there on irs.gov. Click on the non-filers tab. Now, millions of stimulus payments of up to $1,200 are set to be sent to individuals, while children stand to receive $500. So you'll get $1,200 automatically, but you need to act quickly and use that non-filers tool on irs.gov to get the extra $500 per child added to their payment. So people who receive SSI or VA compensation and a pension benefit payments should receive their automatic payments by mid-May. So you have to wait till mid-May for your payments. All right, let's talk about stimulus round 2, folks. It is coming. Congress just needs to iron out what it will look like. They're going back and forth. Either way, a new study found that most Americans have already blown through their first round of checks, and they're going to need that additional check soon. The study also found that most Americans plan to use it to pay their rent or groceries, which they used the first round for. It was hardly frivolous spending. So here's what we could see from round 2. And this is everything we know right now among all of the proposals that are hitting the House floor, the House of Representatives. These are the most viable proposals right now. There are three main proposals right now. The Emergency Money for the People Act. Okay, this is number 1. This would provide a $2,000 monthly stimulus check for up to 1 year. Okay, then the other one is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, which would cancel rent and mortgage payments for up to 1 year. And then the Getting America Back to Work Act would provide a payroll tax rebate that covers 80% of payroll taxes. And this would enable businesses to more easily hire and retain employees. A little bit more complicated than that one. I don't think that one stands much of a chance, but we'll see. So let's look at these a little bit more closely here. The Emergency Money for the People Act was introduced by House Representatives Ro Khanna out of California and Tim Ryan out of Ohio. It would give you $2,000 monthly stimulus checks, $4,000 for married couples, for up to 12 months. Now, unlike the CARES Act, all citizens age 16 and over would receive the full payment, provided they earn less than $130,000 per year, or $260,000 for married couples. Also, this plan would make it easier for citizens to receive the stimulus payments. It would allow individuals to receive their payments via direct deposit. They could get a check, a prepaid debit card, mobile money platforms. They could use Venmo or Zelle or PayPal, just like the way we pay our babysitters. Okay, the next one is the Rent and Mortgage Cancellation Act, introduced by Representative Omar out of Minnesota. It would cancel rent or mortgage payments for an individual's primary residence for up to 1 year. The bill would prohibit double dipping by not allowing individuals to receive more than one credit per household. And this is a big caveat, the bill would include full rent payment or mortgage payment forgiveness for your primary residence. That's huge. And no debt accumulation for renters or homeowners. And no negative marks for your credit history. So then what happens to us landlords who depend on that rent? You know, I want to say something here. Not every landlord is rich. In fact, many landlords have just one rental property that they own, that they've maintained, taken care of, built from the ground up, and provide great housing for someone to live in. They're not wealthy, and they depend on that income. Well, the bill would establish the Rental Property Relief Fund and Homelenders Relief Fund, so both managed by the Department of Housing and Urban Development. Now, this would actually help landlords. This would pay landlords and mortgage holders to cover those losses associated with tenants and homeowners not paying their rent or their mortgage payments. This would be huge. All of these banks would be wondering, how are we going to get our mortgages paid by these homeowners that own a rental property, but they can't get rent from the tenant? How are they going to pay us? We'd have massive defaults. No, this would cover that. But I think this is a massive cost, and I would be shocked if this one passes. I really would. And finally, the Getting America Back to Work Act, which was proposed by Senator Josh Hawley. This would create a refundable payroll tax rebate that would cover up to 80% of employer payroll costs up to the median wage. It would also establish a rehiring bonus for employees who were laid off and who were later rehired. The program would be administered directly by the federal government, so no states having to be involved in this. And it would last for the duration of the health emergency, however long this thing goes. By the way, who's going to determine when this is over? While the tax rebates aren't a stimulus check in every American's pocket, this plan would allow employees to remain on payroll and be eligible for continued employee benefits, reducing the downtime that companies need to restart their operations once the economy starts moving again. Now, they all have their merits. I like some pieces of each of them, but let me know in the comments what makes the most sense to you. All right, let's talk about those checks, everyone, and Trump's signature on them. Now, remember a few weeks ago when these checks were reportedly delayed because the Treasury Department wanted Trump's signature on them? Well, Treasury Department said, no, there was no delay, and that was all just fake news from the Washington Post. Okay, well, we don't know. Either way, I don't care, but let's be honest here. This is a PR move. It's like sending direct mail right to potential voters. Like, hey, I got a check from President Trump, honey, look. And yes, there are people out there who are dumb enough to actually believe that. But look, it's politics and PR. That's why Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat from New York, is reportedly planning to introduce a provision that would prevent President Trump from placing his name on any additional coronavirus-related stimulus checks. The provision is called the No PR Act, and it would be included in the next coronavirus stimulus package, and it would ensure that no federal funding would go towards promotional material that would benefit President Trump or Vice President Pence. Politico is reporting this, by the way. So here's a statement from Chuck Schumer, who says that Trump unfortunately appears to see the pandemic as just another opportunity to promote his own political interests. The No PR Act puts an end to the president's exploitation of taxpayer money for promotional material that only benefits his re-election campaign. Let's be honest. Biden would probably want his name on there if he were president also, right? It's a great PR move. Trump's full name will appear on the memo line. And the Treasury Department confirmed earlier this month that it went out to about 70 million Americans. And they're expected to already receive these checks with Trump's name on them, while at least 80 million others will still have to get those payments directly deposited into their bank accounts, so they're not going to see a name on those, of course. And we're also learning that this first round of checks will be mailed with a letter from the president. Here's what it looks like. It's a full typed out letter letting people know what they should do with the money. Then it has President Trump's signature at the bottom of the letter. Now, I don't care about the signature. The part I care about was that the checks might have been printed and delayed by a few days just so they could put these signatures on them. We had heard that from the Washington Post. If that was true, then that's really bad. That's all I cared about. Get the money out to the people that need it and stop playing politics. This is the reason people hate Washington, D.C. so much over garbage like this. In fact, this is true. This is true. Some diseases actually have a higher approval rating than Congress. And I'd be willing to bet that coronavirus probably has a higher approval rating than Congress right now. Look, it is an election year. I do think it is kind of unfair that the president gets to send out a free piece of mail to 70 million Americans with his name on it, and it's all paid for by you, the taxpayers? Let me know in the comments below if you have a problem with that also. But, if Biden were campaigning, he'd have to pay for it out of his own campaign money. And finally, I want to read a viewer comment from Stephanie Schnabel. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, Stephanie, but she wrote in our comments below, and she said, "Hi, Clayton, not sure if you covered this or not. Last week, we attempted to update my 86-year-old mother-in-law's address and info, but ran into trouble determining her adjusted gross income and cell phone number. She's not on our cell phone plan. The first thing we had to do was update her caller ID information with our carrier. Without the cell caller ID in her name, the IRS can't verify her identity. We didn't know this. I believe many seniors may not even have cell phones and may be running into the same issue, meaning their stimulus checks will be further delayed. Maybe this will help other people who are watching. Thanks and have a great Monday." Thank you, Stephanie, and thanks for that help. I hadn't heard that before, but I'm sharing it with all of you. Just a little tidbit, you may have to take care of that. So be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can click right there and subscribe. We publish these videos just about every day right now to help you build financial intelligence, and we will see you back here tomorrow.